Prince Harry and his wife Meghan have been named as Humanitarians of the Year.
What?
Oh, hold on tight because the palace walls are rumbling again. And this time it's not about another scandal or tabloid tantrum. No, darling, this one's about something even bigger. Reform. Word is spreading like wildfire through the gilded corridors of royal gossip. Prince William has quietly drawn a line in the royal sand. And trust me, this isn't just any line. This one might permanently, and I mean permanently, change the future of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Insiders are whispering about something they're calling the new rule. A royal move so drastic that even the most seasoned royal watchers, the ones who've seen everything from abdications to divorces, are stunned. And if the whispers are true, well, brace yourself, because the Sussexes' last fragile thread connecting them to the monarchy, their last bit of royal privilege, could soon be snipped away forever.
I talked to a body language expert who works for the government, and he said that that'll be on Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered Friday, and he said that he's never seen Meghan so defeated than in that clip. He said you watch her melt. You completely see that she is shaken.
Now don't roll your eyes because this isn't just another rumor. Oh no, this is real. This is serious. Behind those gilded Buckingham Palace gates, the tension is thick enough to slice through with a diamond tiara. Multiple palace insiders are confirming the same thing. Prince William is preparing to strip Harry and Meghan of their HRH titles, their His and Her Royal Highness status, gone the very second William becomes king. That's right, no more royal courtesy, no more formality, no more recognition of royal blood. In William's eyes, the Sussexes are finished. Reports began leaking in late April 2025. The Daily Beast broke it first, saying William's patience had finally snapped. What started as quiet frustration turned into what one palace aide described as a mission. And that mission? Clean house. A former royal courtier even called the Sussexes loose ends that William is determined to cut off once and for all. Their words, not mine, but the tone, ice cold. And honestly, think about it. The future King of England now sees his own brother and sister-in-law as problems that need to be eliminated. That alone tells you how broken this royal family truly is.
It follows the establishment of the Archibald Foundation in 2020, a non-profit organisation advocating online safety.
Together we can and we will build the movement that all families and all children deserve.
And get this, people close to the Prince of Wales are saying William loathes and despises Harry and Meghan with every fiber of his being. And that's not just palace gossip. That's an exact phrase whispered by those who've seen what's really going on behind closed doors. Years of resentment, betrayal, humiliation, it's all bubbling up to the surface. The brotherly bond, once unbreakable, gone, turned to ash. And oh, it gets darker.
Harry cannot fake. He cannot fake love. He can only show his disdain, and it sure as hell reminds me of the latter stage between Prince Charles and the then Prince Charles and the Princess of Wales when they went to that trip in Korea. Oh my dear Lord. And what came next? Divorce.
One insider spilled to the Daily Mail. William has had enough. He's done playing nice. He's ready to end this once and for all. The only thing stopping him? His father, King Charles. Out of pure respect, William's biding his tongue for now. But once that crown touches his head, darling, it's game over. The moment he becomes king, all bets are off. According to palace insiders, removing Harry and Meghan's HRH styles will be one of William's first official acts as monarch. Not a long-term plan, not something for next year. Oh no, the second that royal scepter hits his hand, he'll act swiftly, decisively, ruthlessly. Can you imagine? Prince Harry, once the cheeky golden boy of the monarchy, beloved by the public, always by his brother's side through thick and thin, now branded a royal liability. And Meghan, the glamorous fairy tale princess who was once hailed as the bright, modern future of a more inclusive monarchy, now whispered about as the crown's biggest mistake. It's chilling. The fall from grace is almost Shakespearean, but to understand why this new rule is so explosive, we need to rewind to where the royal cracks first began to show. January 2020. The Sandringham Summit. Queen Elizabeth II summoned her family to her private Norfolk estate, a last-ditch effort to contain the chaos after Harry and Meghan's explosive announcement to step back as senior royals. The mood that day? Oh, tense doesn't even begin to describe it. You had the Queen, ever the picture of calm, wise, and measured. Charles, trying desperately to keep the peace. William, fuming inside, though wearing that polite Windsor smile. And Harry, digging his heels in beside Meghan, who looked every inch the woman who'd already decided she was done. The Queen's mission was simple: protect the institution, but give her grandson the freedom he claimed he wanted. Hours of talks, tears, and stiff family formalities later, a deal was struck. Harry and Meghan could keep their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. They could even retain their HRH styles, but under one strict condition: they were never to use them again. Not publicly, not privately, not for business, not even casually. The Queen wanted a clean break. Buckingham Palace made it official, and the statement still sits on the royal website today, a digital scar that refuses to fade. The Sussexes will not use their HRH titles, as they are no longer working members of the royal family. End of story, but oh, if only it had been. So you might be wondering, what's the big deal about 3 tiny letters? HRH. Why does that even matter anymore, right? Oh honey, it matters, because in the royal world, HRH isn't technically a title, it's a style. But in the monarchy's ancient language, that style is pure power. It's the difference between being a royal representative and just another celebrity trying to play dress-up in couture. Those 3 letters? They're a golden badge, a shimmering stamp that screams authority, lineage, prestige. His or Her Royal Highness tells the world this person speaks for the crown. It's not just manners, it's branding. The kind that opens every door, commands every camera flash, and adds a few zeros to every contract. HRH turns your name from a signature into a symbol. And Queen Elizabeth knew this better than anyone. She'd spent decades defending the crown's reputation from chaos and scandal. So when Harry and Meghan decided to leave, she allowed them to walk, but not to profit. Her message was crystal clear. You can be private citizens, but you can never cash in on royal prestige again. And at the time, Harry and Meghan smiled sweetly and agreed. They promised they'd never use HRH. They'd carve out their new life, independent and noble. But fast forward to 2025, and that promise? Cracking like fine china. It started with one little Instagram post. Mid-April, Meghan shares a thank you note from Ukraine's vice president. Sounds innocent, right? Just a kind gesture of support. But here's the catch. The message began with, "Your Royal Highness," and Meghan posted it publicly to millions. Now, to an average follower, it looked polite. But to Buckingham Palace? It was like someone pulled the fire alarm, because that wasn't just a slip-up, that was a test, a subtle, deliberate push of the boundaries. Could she reclaim the shine of HRH without anyone daring to stop her? And when the palace stayed silent, Meghan took it further. A few weeks later, during a cozy podcast appearance with her friend Jamie Kern-Lima, eagle-eyed fans spotted a little something in the background. A beautifully wrapped gift basket sent by Meghan herself. Attached to it, a note that read, "With compliments of HRH, the Duchess of Sussex." Oh yes, her stationery, her handwriting, her choice. This wasn't a journalist calling her that. It was her signing it that way. And with that one bold move, Meghan shattered the promise she'd made to the late Queen. The palace went ballistic. One courtier called it a blatant violation of the Sandringham understanding. Another fumed, "She knows exactly what she's doing. This isn't an accident, it's provocation." And that's when the dominoes started to fall. Because when William found out, he was furious. Not just because of the breach, but because it felt like a personal insult to his grandmother's legacy. The Queen had given them grace, mercy even, a dignified exit. And now, 3 years after her passing, Meghan was seen as flaunting that mercy for Instagram likes. William reportedly lost it. According to sources, he swore right then and there, "Never again. Not on my watch." And that's when palace whispers began to swirl about a secret project, a new royal policy, a new rule. A plan that would once and for all erase the Sussexes' last traces of royal privilege. Because for William, this wasn't about pettiness or jealousy anymore. This was about respect, family honor, the preservation of the crown, and he was ready to do whatever it took to protect it. From that moment, it was like the ancient royal machinery suddenly roared back to life. The Lord Chamberlain's office, the royal lawyers, the palace communications wing, all quietly pulled into secret meetings. Drafts were written, legal clauses discussed, historical precedents dug up, and within weeks, the new rule was born. But here's the twist. King Charles didn't make some grand announcement. That's not his style. Oh no, he let it unfold silently, like a chess move no one saw until it was already checkmate. The rule basically made it illegal for Harry or Meghan to use or imply any royal status in public ventures. No branding, no HRH, no royal endorsement. Any future commercial project that so much as hinted at royal affiliation, immediate takedown. That means no royal-inspired skincare lines, no Sussex royal anything, no subtle royal touches in podcasts, podcasts or documentaries. The Sussex Empire, once glittering with royal association, was officially decrowned. And when Meghan found out, oh, buckle up. According to one Daily Mail insider, she lost it. Furious, emotional, reportedly accusing the palace of trying to ruin her life and her future projects. She even threatened to go public again, to tell her truth about how toxic the royal institution really is. But this time, the firm didn't flinch. They'd fortified the walls. They had the law, the press, and the public sentiment on their side. The new rule gave them the upper hand, legally and symbolically. For the first time in years, the palace wasn't reacting to Harry and Meghan's every move. They were leading the game. And inside royal circles, one thing became clear. King Charles's patience had finally snapped. He was done with the drama, the headlines, the tension between duty and family love. A source close to the Telegraph put it bluntly. His Majesty believes the monarchy stands for service and discretion, not self-promotion. Translation? You've embarrassed us long enough. And that, darling, is where things really began to unravel. Because while Meghan was reportedly fuming and plotting her comeback, Harry was left spinning in the middle, lost, conflicted, and haunted by the very storm he helped create. So let's take a deep breath, because this next part, it's where everything crumbles. As the walls closed in around Meghan, something shifted inside the palace, and the calm, collected King Charles turned ice cold. Sources close to the royal household say his patience finally broke earlier this year, right after he heard about Meghan's latest attempts to rebrand herself as a global Duchess of Compassion. A Telegraph insider spilled it bluntly. His Majesty was appalled. He believes monarchy is about service and silence, not self-promotion. That's royal code for, you've humiliated us long enough. And that's when the King and the Prince of Wales aligned completely. Father and son united in purpose. The new rule wasn't just a formality anymore, it was personal. The message was clear. The monarchy would no longer be a stage for the Sussex show. And poor Prince Harry? Oh, he's trapped in the middle of this royal storm, a victim of his own choices, a man torn between loyalty and love, but somehow losing both. Reports claim he's been reaching out to old friends back in the UK, quietly trying to rebuild burned bridges, hoping someone, anyone, might still welcome him home. But let's be honest, after that explosive memoir Spare, where he aired every private detail from palace bedrooms to royal family feuds, those bridges aren't just burned, they're ash. Even the ones built in Diana's name are gone. Harry's isolation is heartbreaking, but also, let's face it, self-inflicted. And then there's Meghan, still dazzling, still defiant, but this time she's running out of cards to play. Even with the new rule looming like a sword over her head, she's reportedly planning a grand relaunch. According to an LA-based insider, Meghan's lining up a full brand makeover, a glossy magazine spread, a tell-all interview, and yes, another not-so-subtle dig at the royals. But here's the problem. Without the royal connection, there's no sparkle, no HRH, no royal sheen, no magic. Because, as her critics have been whispering for years, without the title, there's no spotlight. And that truth, it's finally catching up. Meanwhile, across the pond, the tabloids are having an absolute field day. Headlines scream Montecito meltdown, and Meghan's empire crumbles under King's rule. Late-night hosts are cracking jokes, social media's turned savage, and the once adoring public? Oh, they're tired. Comment sections are brutal. You wanted independence, now live with it. Guess the palace finally had enough. And in a poetic twist, the very institution Meghan once tried to expose has now exposed her. The palace, calm and unshaken, just watched as the empire she built on royal fame unraveled. King Charles, often accused of being indecisive or too emotional, has suddenly drawn a line sharper than a sword. Insiders say he sees this rule as his legacy, the act that restores the dignity of the monarchy after years of public chaos. Because for Charles and for William, this is no longer about family drama. It's about protecting the crown itself. The message couldn't be clearer. The monarchy belongs to the institution, not to individuals who treat it like a brand name. And that's the tragedy of it all. Because Harry and Meghan, the once golden couple, the royals who promised to modernize tradition and redefine the monarchy, have become a cautionary tale instead. They built an empire on being rebels, on telling their truth, on being the royal outsiders with heart. But the truth, once the crown's glow fades, so does the relevance. Without it, they're just two celebrities in a sea of many, with more drama than credibility, and fewer allies by the day. And somewhere behind those ancient palace walls, King Charles can finally breathe again. The chaos is quiet. The distraction's gone. The monarchy, though bruised, stands strong, elegant, enduring, eternal, because as history has proven again and again, the firm always wins. Always. And for Harry and Meghan, the fairy tale that began with global love and royal vows has turned into something else entirely. A warning. A cautionary tale about what happens when you try to turn the crown into content. Their reign of relevance is over, their influence fading into echoes. And this new rule? It's the final nail in the Sussex coffin. It's over for them, and the palace made sure of it. And the palace made sure of it. And the palace...